where we have conversations about culture, equity, and belonging, as well as teaching. But today we have our guest, and it's all related, I promise. We have a guest, Will Adams, today, who is an award winning producer. And I'm truly thrilled to have you here because when it comes to conversations about culture, teaching, and everything we need to know, it all matters. So, welcome, Will Adams.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you having taking the time to make make space for me on your show.
Oh, thank you, of course. Um, I had to choose that topic, but I want to start with you telling about yourself. Just let us get to know who you are, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'm Will Adams from Chicago. I'm a filmmaker. I have quite a few movies under my belt, which you can find on lokekey.com. That's a quick plug. But pretty much, I produce, I write, I direct. I also edit. I'm what you call an all-around independent filmmaker because when
Mhm.
people say they're independent filmmakers, they usually say, "Oh, I write, I direct, I do all of that, and I
Wow.
produce."
So that's a lot of hats that you're wearing.
Yeah, hit and neck gets a little tired from time to time.
Wow. So, it's interesting when it comes to I have this fascination with filmmaking, of course. I do mostly well, I shouldn't say mostly. I watch. That's mostly what I do. But I'm so curious, especially for people listening out there, you know, and especially even, if kids want to listen to this later on. Can you tell me a little bit about your journey here to be a producer?
Well, when I started out, I was just a shooter, so I like to grab the camera, run and gun, and shoot whatever, and I can easily pass you your footage and be done and get my money. And one day I happened to be working on somebody's project that was doing everything I can think could be wrong in my eyes.
Hmm.
So I felt like, you know what, I could do that. So then I created a movie called Kidnap, and I did that, and it was trash. It was
Hmm.
complete. It was a dumpster fire, and I learned that first. I learned that you have to direct your talent. Secondly, I learned that everything that looks easy isn't easy. So I had to figure
Hmm.
out another way to do the same thing I want to do again with a different project. I couldn't redo the same project again. I had to do something different because that first project was my learning tool. And
Hmm.
then the second project, I applied everything that I learned that I didn't do in the first project to the second project, and I kept
Okay.
pushing forward.
Do you get bored easily when you said that? I just pictured sometimes myself not being able to, like it's very hard for me to teach the same lesson twice. Do you get bored?
No,
Okay, go ahead.
no, because you have to be creative and
Hmm.
being an independent, we don't have the money that the studios have. So we have to be independent whenever shooting anything. I mean, we're on the street, we're pretty much guerrilla shooting,
Mm.
meaning that no permits. Hey, you watching for the police, uh, for the most part, making sure we get our shots in before they come and shut us down. But you have to be creative in every aspect. It's not like, all right, well, here's the script,
Hmm.
here's the locations, here are the actors, let's shoot. It's not the same thing twice. Matter of fact, with Tubi movie, uh, let's go back. My formula to creating any movie is write a script, grab the locations, lock those in because you have the times and the dates, and then grab your actors because your actors usually ask you, when are you going to shoot?
Hmm.
So when they ask you when you're shooting and you don't have a definitive date, you come back to them later on, they say, oh, I'm already doing something. So
Hmm.
now you give them the location. But with Tubi movie, since I wanted everybody that's in Tubi movie, I wanted them in it. So it's not
Hmm.
like any of them audition. I
Hmm.
physically call all of those people up on the phone, all
Oh.
28 of them, and said, "Hey, can you be in this movie?" And they was like, "What's it about?" Well, some people said, "Sure," without even reading the script. And then Adele Givens said, "Send her the script." I sent her the script, and then she said, like 18 pages in, it was super funny. But what's crazy is she hadn't even read the whole script. She hadn't even read her part yet, which I was shocked. Damon didn't even. I didn't even get it write the script before Damon said he would do it.
Mm-hmm.
I said, Damon, I was thinking about doing. He said, yeah, I want to be in. Me and my wife was just talking about it. So yeah, I do it. So you know, but other people want to see the script. David Walker, he wants to see the script, but
Mm-hmm.
other people, I just say, hey, yeah, I'm in it. I'm like, you don't really, no, I'm cool. Just send me the script when it's ready. So, but I caught all those people, 28 people. That's a lot of people.
Wow, that is a lot of people. No, I'm so curious. When you chose them, is it because you'd seen them act? Did you know? Have you seen them? Did you just know them? I'm just curious about that because pulling together a team that works
Well,
really well is hard.
okay, so let me take that back. 25 of the people I called
Hmm.
personally.
Okay.
The three Tammys, Eric Jones got those people for me. But everybody else, I personally called up on the phone and said, "Hey,
Hmm.
can you be in this? Can you down to the doctor walking into the into the hospital room with the white smock on?" I called
Hmm.
him up. Hey, it's a small part, but can you do it? And he was like, "Okay, I'm there." And it happened.
Now, since we're talking about the movie, I did have a whole bunch of questions first, but might as well jump into the
Okay, go
movie, and I'll,
ahead.
I'll
No, I'm sorry.
backtrack.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, no, that's problem. Since we're there, because as soon as you said it, I thought about that scene, with the skeleton, with the picture, and I'm just so curious. You got to draw that or create that. I don't want to
Well,
give away too much, but I don't know how much you want to give away.
well,
But yeah.
on my staff, well, that's in the trailer, so they can see that in the trailer.
Oh,
But on
okay.
my staff, I got two artists. My photographer, he's an artist, and then
Hmm.
George Davis, he's an artist. George
Hmm.
Davis is like one of those artists that can just. I say, hey, draw me a finger pointing at the sky. Done.
Hmm.
So I said, hey, can you draw this skull? I want this make it look like an X-ray with a crack in it. He turned around, boom. I said, okay, that's it. And usually I don't practice. We don't practice, but I knew that Adele, when she saw it, she wasn't gonna be ready for it. So because she was
Hmm.
like, yeah, let's get ready to shoot. I said, no, I need you to practice this part first. She was like, Will, you don't usually practice. I said, I get it, but I need. All right, come on, we're just gonna do this part. We're gonna run through it real quick. So he ran through the little part real quick, and then he showed her, and she fell on the floor, and she laughed for 10 minutes. She's like, yeah, you did right.
So did you
You did
kind of
right.
start in the middle with the movie, or kind of, when you started filming and everything, did you start? Because some people I know start in different places.
No,
Okay.
that movie I shot. What scenes did we shoot first? Oh, we shot. Oh, you know what? We shot the three Tammys first.
The which one?
Then three Tammys,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and then we shot the scene with the young parents at breakfast second,
Okay.
and then we shot uh the hospital scene third,
Okay.
and then everything else fell down the line.
Nice. I'm cracking because the scenes are now coming back to me as you mention them. It
Hmm.
was a rather funny movie, I do have to say. It was an unexpected twist. What inspired you to create that movie?
Well, so what happened? After you doom scroll, I don't like to say doom scroll because doom scroll means like I'm gonna be deaf, like But I'm scrolling on the internet and I'm looking at these different posts where people are just basically dogging these movies, but they're not telling you the names of these movies. They're only calling them Tubi movies. And with them
Mm,
calling them Tubi movies, I'm thinking like, man, I'm seeing some of the same clips on different people's posts. I was like, man, they getting a lot of traction. I
mm-hmm.
said, man, I should probably make a bad movie so I can get traction like this. Then I said, no, because the thing is, they're making these bad movies, but you don't know the names of these movies.
Mm,
They're just dubbed Tubi movies.
mm-hmm.
So basically, the people who were posting these movies, they were basically getting people ready to see Tubi movie,
Mm-hmm.
my movie. So I thought,
Mm-hmm.
let's make a self-aware comedy where the actors break character
Mm-hmm.
and complain about the same things that the viewer would complain about, so you can laugh with us instead of at us.
Mm.
So that's where the concept came from.
Wow. It's funny because I did listen to also another interview you had, and I thought you had written it because you were trying to bring awareness to how challenging it is to create such a movie as well. I mean, it's
Mm-mm.
great
No,
that you
no, no,
can put
no. I
so
never
many
said
things.
that.
Oh, okay. Maybe I misinterpreted that.
No, 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 no. I never said that. It was the host. It's because of the streaming culture. It's making a move. It's creating a movie that people who post these bad movies and dub them Tubi movies.
Mm-hmm.
It's creating a movie that they didn't know they wanted to see. Also, the people who react to their posts, they didn't know they wanted to see either. So you see this movie. Uh oh, we got a squad car going past, or ambulance, or a fire truck. There you go. I'm sorry. So, so you have these movies that people actually they just post these clips to get reactions,
Mm-hmm.
and they basically promoting this movie. Now, the twist to this movie is, I although it's a lot of content I could have made fun of and I could
Mm-hmm.
have put in this movie, I made sure I didn't do it because I'm not trying to make fun of those filmmakers.
Mm-hmm.
Although their movie's not the best, they still put their hard work and effort in. So it's not for me to talk bad to them. It's me to
Mm-hmm.
create a movie that everybody else is trying to recreate online by showing these bad movies, by saying, "Come on, Tubi, you could do better than that." And my characters basically say, "Come on, you don't see that guy with the microphone right there? He's standing right there." You know. So
Right.
with that in place, it creates a space for you guys to just laugh with us, and not us not be the butt of everybody's posts and get reactions and comments talking about how bad the movie is, because the
Right.
movie is not bad. It's actually a good movie. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a good bad movie on purpose. It's very intentional.
Right. I could tell it was very intentional. And of
And
course, well, huh?
I was just saying, and I also put the disclaimer at the very beginning.
Yes.
The disclaimer at the very beginning explains everything. So no, there's no confusion or trying to figure out if this was intentional. It says it's satire, and
Mm-hmm.
if you've made something that's similar to this, it's purely coincidental. It's not on purpose. And if you have made something similar to this, be a better filmmaker. So that's on you.
Well, it's funny because I did hear you say that, and I'm so curious now because as I was watching it, of course, we couldn't help thinking, of what it reminded you of, right? Because of your
Mhm.
play on, movies. I'm so curious as to what you've heard about in terms of comparisons.
Well, some people said Hollywood Shuffle, but I said no. Hollywood Shuffle was a movie that's pretty much uh, full of sketches.
Mm-hmm.
It's a movie that has sketches all throughout. Now, this movie that comes close, the only movie that comes close to this movie is pretty much what's the name of that? I'm gonna get you, sucker. And there's one scene that I realized that from, and that was just recent, like 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen I'm gonna get you, sucker?
I think so. It sounds that's that the Richard Pryor one?
Keenan Ivory Wayans movie.
Okay, it sounds familiar. Honestly, I don't tend
Yeah.
to remember all the names.
Well, he was going to pick his mother up and his female friend, not girlfriend at the time, but his female friend, up at the
Mm-hmm.
diner, and then somebody came to the diner trying to, I guess, shake his mother down for money, and his
Mm-hmm.
mother started fighting everybody, but they pulled his mother out and replaced her with a stunt double. Did
Mm-hmm.
not put makeup on him. Had a full mustache, white guy, and she was black. Did
Mm-hmm.
flips and everything. Just had a wig on and a dress.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty much Tubi movie before Tubi movie. But these bad movies, there was no Facebook back then. So what I did, I'm just mimicking what people put out on Facebook
Right.
and bringing it to life. So that's why I call it a meta comedy. It's not a regular comedy. It has its own genre.
Yeah. Well, I'm dying to tell you which ones crossed my mind.
I'm listening.
So I started watching it, and then I decided, okay, let me start over, and then my husband and I watched it. So we all had
What
different
your husband
thoughts.
say? What your husband think? What your husband think about it?
The first thing across his mind was Monty Python.
Okay.
So, and I saw how, right, because it was similar kind of satire, but um I and the comparisons I made is not so much um because it was similar, as much as, there were things that reminded me of movies that I could see making fun of would be interesting, right?
Hmm.
So I thought of these two movies, which is, I know these movies because of my husband. Um, okay, I'll just tell you. One that crossed my mind was the Lock, Stock, and Two Barrel ones,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
and mainly
So
go ahead.
no, Guy Ritchie. I'm a fan of Guy Ritchie. Okay, keep going. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right, and you probably know which scene I'm thinking of that reminded me of that. And the other one that crossed my mind, believe it or not, and I still don't know why that one crossed my mind, but I thought of Black Adder.
Black who?
Black Adder. It's what's his name? The guy who acted Mr. Bean. Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Anyway, those were the Monty Python kind of, that kind of satire where you were making fun of, those were the ones that crossed my mind.
hmm.
So in my mind, it's like, okay, I guess it's maybe just a black version of it, kind of thing. Um, but I love the fact that the story was real, and that the story was real to one of the. I think I stole your title because you talked about urban storytelling and black creatives,
Okay.
and so
So
go ahead.
well, no, no. Go ahead. I can hold mine. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. So that's also what made it so unique to me. But those movies cross my mind. If I were to think of a similarity.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what is the opening scene is basically Pulp Fiction. I mean, not the opening scene. The opening credits to the second scene is Pulp Fiction.
Okay.
But I'm not making fun of Pulp Fiction. So the way I open it up, even though I have the bridges over playing and the title of Tubi movie pops up, it pulls it to the screen just like Pulp Fiction does,
Hmm.
and it gets smaller as the credits pop in, just like
Hmm.
Pulp Fiction. And
Okay.
the second scene is of Jules and Vince in the car
Hmm.
having a conversation. Damon and David are in the car having a conversation. Not
Hmm.
similar conversation, but just a offshoot conversation that's not about anything dealing with the story. So I'm building right there,
Hmm.
and I just make sure that the reason why I did that is I wanted to make sure it felt familiar to everybody, so they can continue
Hmm.
watching and
Right.
trying to figure out where it's going to go and see if it's going to seeing if I made a Pulp Fiction, which I didn't. I didn't make a
Okay.
Pulp Fiction, but
Hmm.
I did open it up. And I think the most challenging thing for me for this movie was to make sure it had a beginning, middle, and end,
Mm.
because I didn't want to just be throwing different scenes that didn't make sense in and trying to
Hmm.
get a joke out of it, because it just basically turns into a movie that's full of sketches. And I would
Mm.
be in the Hollywood shuffle range. I wanted, as you said, I wanted it to feel like a real movie.
Right.
And just the character, I mean, the actors breaking character, just to complain like, hold on, what are we doing? Why are we here? What's going on? I wanted that more so than anything.
Right, I do remember. It's funny because when we were watching, we were wondering in the beginning why you gave it away a little bit, but I can understand a little bit why you did a little bit. Give you seem to have you gave it away a little bit, especially when they were watching them, and they were going up the stairs.
I have to. And the reason why I
Hmm.
have to is because everybody isn't as sharp as you, if that makes sense. Because I've talked to people that were a lot less sharper than you, and they still don't understand the movie. I
Okay.
asked him, I said, "Did you see the disclaimer at the beginning?"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more like a romance or an action movie. No, it's a comedy. It's satire. But I didn't like get it. You didn't get that it was satire?
Mm-hmm.
No. I said, okay. And it made me, that sent me into a whirlwind of emotions because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I missed it. So then I
Mm-mm.
went and asked about probably 14 people. I'm thinking it was 14 people because I wasn't convinced with the first five. I wasn't convinced with the the 10.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped at 14. So I said, if I get to 15, I'm going to be obsessive. And I left it alone. But everybody else said they understood what the movie's about and they got it. But that one person, and I, I mean, sometimes you have to make it. I try to make it as user friendly as possible
Mm-hmm. Well, I think
without insulting people who are as sharp as you.
I was trying to figure. Okay, I'll take it as a compliment, but yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a compliment.
Yeah, it's I mean I thought it was funny. I thought that it got funnier as time went on as well. And the ending was a little unexpected, but in a good way, which was nice. So I think you did succeed in having that.
And
But
I needed it to be an unexpected because if you're gonna watch a movie where you know it's gonna happen, why would you want to watch it? So
right. Well, I think it's a great movie to talk about for sure, especially when it comes to the education side of it and understanding what is a satire. And um I now I didn't see the rest of your movies. I did notice. I looked at it afterwards and then I thought, how did I miss it? You had other movies. I was like, oh, I could have been watching and seeing what the others are.
you
Um
still can.
I will. I will. I mean, I didn't realize you had that many. I was like, oh, I mean, and I did go to your page, but I guess at the time I was just thinking more of that particular the 2B one. So,
It's okay.
um, now is if you compare this one with your other movies, I'm just curious as to whether or not your focus is satire or, you know, how you think about the others.
Well, the best way I can describe it is the way somebody else described it on another podcast on Black and Black Prime. He said, I saw a Tubi movie. Then I kind of did a deep dive in your other movies. And I said, oh, he was just playing because he's like, oh, these are real movies down here. He said, no, Tubi movie's a real movie, but it's satire. But these movies are movies that's not satire. Like Sex Ain't Love is it's a romantic comedy,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not Tubi movie. Step Off the Block is a drama, but it's not Tubi movie.
Mm.
So when you watch those, you don't have this. It's just different. It's
Mm-hmm.
not the same.
Wow.
So if some people are like, hey, you gonna do another two? I said no. This is a shock movie. This is a one and done. If somebody else does another one similar to it, have at it. But for me to do another one, oh, he's still doing that. No, I don't want you to ever say that. I don't want you to say that about me. He's still. Oh, that was funny the first time. Oh,
Yeah.
I got other stuff.
Yeah. There's a lot more there to give, and you just did it and you move on from it.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty much.
I completely understand.
Think my
Now,
last time.
hmm?
My I got a short film called My Last Time, and
Mm-hmm.
then another short film called My Last Time Volume Two. Now,
Okay.
Volume Two is is a continuation. It's almost like a series. I was going to probably continue making those different dramas
Mm-hmm.
because the way I look at drama is so if you like coffee, I like hot chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't like hot chocolate, I try to give you some of my hot chocolate, you're not going to want it. You try to give me some of your coffee, I'm not going to want it. That's
Mm-hmm.
how I view drama because we
Mm-hmm.
all don't like the same thing.
Right.
So um, when I look at My Last Time is a drama about the first one is about addiction. Second one is about a guy from the streets doing something one last time. And I'll
Mm-hmm.
continue it doing with different stories. But
Mm-hmm.
it becomes taxing because now I have to shoot these. I was going to do at least 7 or 8 of them and turn them
Mhm.
into a full length feature film. But
Mhm.
it becomes taxing because to shoot a short is almost the same amount of energy it is to shoot a feature,
Mm.
believe it or not. You
Mm.
would think it's not, but it is,
In
especially
what way?
the way I shoot features. If
Mhm.
you're shooting one scene,
Mhm.
it's not that much. But if you're shooting multiple scenes in a short film, you
Mhm.
might as well stretch them out and just make the
Ah,
movie.
yeah.
Because My Last Time has different scenes in it. If you watch a third first, it's a short film. It's a
Mhm.
long short first. Long short film. I think it's like 13 minutes, but it's
Mhm.
all shot in one location.
Mm.
My Last Time is shot at multiple locations. So is My Last Time Volume 2 shot at multiple locations.
Mhm.
Tender Looking Good is shot at multiple locations.
Mhm.
If, if I mean, I could have just made them longer
Mhm.
and made a whole movie. Now, was Work Dinner is shot at one location,
Mhm.
which is better than having to go to. You break the equipment down, you go to this location, you're getting like what, a 1 minute of footage, and then going somewhere else, get another minute,
Mhm.
one more minute of footage when you could be getting 4 or 5 minutes of footage, and you
Right.
not 4 or 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes of that story,
Mhm.
and you putting together a whole entire movie.
Wow. Wow. It's a lot to think about. Now, for all of those movies, you also did the writing and the, producing, and you did everything, or was there any
I'm
you
the
had to
independent
nail on the
filmmaker.
writing? What's that?
Well, I'm the independent filmmaker. When you think
Okay.
about independent filmmakers, people usually say I'm a writer, I'm a
Mhm.
producer,
Right.
I'm a director. I am all of that, and
Okay.
you have
Makes
to learn
sense.
how to do all of that because if you
Mhm.
don't, you'll be sitting around wondering what your next project is. And the
Wow.
reason why I write is because I don't need anybody telling me no or
Mhm.
I can. I
Makes
tell
sense.
me yes and no. I can.
Mhm.
I'm
Wow.
the deciding factor.
Makes
You
sense.
know,
Yeah, I
makes
understand.
it easier.
Well, I understand too, especially when you're independent filmmaker. Um, you know, it just makes sense. Like, you know, I understand firsthand too because I do the producing and the the editing
Mm,
here and everything. So,
hmm.
I completely understand.
Yeah. But I don't have to ask for permission.
Right.
That's the most important thing. When you're
Yeah.
independent, you don't have to ask for permission. When you get in front of those studios and they say, well, we don't think that this is going to work.
Mhm.
And you sit there going back and forth, and meetings after meetings after meetings to get a no. And then all of a sudden, sometime down the line where you're asleep and you have moved on, okay, we'll do it.
Mhm.
And you already threw it out. So,
Yeah.
if I have an idea, I do it.
Right. And you've also
Not if,
done.
when I have an idea. Not if, when.
Mhm.
Except for the superhero movies, right, the scripts that I wrote.
Mhm.
I'm Those are properties of other companies that I really can't really talk about because Lori got
Yeah. Yeah. I
he
understand.
has it. But those I'm not gonna do. But as far as everything else, I'm just if, if I see it, I build it.
Mm.
No, when I see it, I build it. Not if. When I see it, I build it. Build
Right.
it. I want.
Wow. And I'm sure at this point you have a good talent for choosing your talent and knowing who fits and you know
Well,
what
the
do you look
crazy
for?
thing about it is I work with
Mhm.
a lot of people in Chicago.
Oh wow.
So now I don't have to worry about saying, Catherine, can you please send me your audition tape in? I just
Mm,
call Letitia Estes and say, hey, Letitia, this is a good part for you.
wow.
And she says, okay.
Nice.
She don't say, what is it about? What's the motivation? She just says, okay.
Mm,
Randall, I think you'll be good at this part. Okay. When we're shooting. That's it.
wow. Oh, makes sense. Um I do want to let me see, should I work? I'm so curious. You focus on urban storytelling, right?
Really?
Am I
Not
right?
really.
Okay.
Not really.
I thought I wanted that title somewhere in your work.
Yeah, it's titled somewhere, but I don't really believe that's not right.
No. Okay.
Um,
I'm glad you
I mean,
clarified. Why I asked.
whatever comes to mind. So, I can be talking about, actually, this ain't Pulp Fiction is actually a movie that I
Mm-hmm.
wrote. Elaine is another movie that I wrote. This ain't Pulp Fiction is about a slacker who works for a boss, ends up robbing his boss to show his girlfriend that he has
Mm-hmm.
some type of motivation. Which he has a neighbor that kind of always gets the raw end of the stick, the good guy to finish last mentality. And then you go to Elena, which is about a female assassin. It's an action film
Mm-hmm.
that's having a midlife crisis because all her friends are pretty much booing up and talking about getting married, having kids, and all of a
Mm.
sudden she has a boyfriend now. She doesn't want to be an assassin anymore. So you have those that's not an urban story,
Right.
So it's just whatever comes to mind. And what's funny
Okay, that
about
makes sense.
Elena was created in 2014 along with Sex Ain't Love.
Mm-hmm.
So Sex Ain't Love, I created an opening for Sex Ain't Love, and I created an opening for Elena. Now,
Mm-hmm.
both openings on paper were strong, but
Mm-hmm.
both openings shooting was not strong.
Mm.
So um, I could make the woman be more comfortable with the opening of Elena, because the
Mm-hmm.
opening of Elena was basically she's a guy's kissing all over her. When she gets in the room, she sees what she's supposed to steal, and she renders him unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
When she came into the room, she was like basically like almost a mannequin, and then after that scene, she was more comfortable. I don't know if it was because of that opening scene or what, but she
Mm-hmm.
was a mannequin. But then I showed everybody Sex Ain't Love, and everybody loved the opening scene of Sex Ain't Love, and that's where I went with it. That's when I
Mm-hmm.
put an Indiegogo campaign together and raised money to
Mm-hmm.
shoot it, and the rest is history on that one. But
Mm.
Elena is still there, and I was trying to sell Elena, but I decided to rewrite it and
Okay.
make it better because Elena follows one character all along the whole entire movie. I don't like that because it's more people in the movie we can follow.
Mm-hmm.
There's more characters in the movie that we can follow, and because everybody has story. And if you look at Tubi movie, it's a lot of story there.
Mm-hmm.
So the young parents have their story. Jason and Everett have their story.
Mm-hmm.
Erica has her story.
Mm.
Angie has her story. Those are four. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot. Link has his story.
Mm.
So that's five stories within one movie. And
Mm-hmm.
I like doing movies that way because if you don't like character A, you can
Mm-hmm.
like B, C, and D and E. But if you don't
Okay.
like B, C, D, and E, you can like character A. It still gives you a reason to want to watch the movie because you like
Mm-hmm.
either all the characters or you like specific characters
Right.
or you like the specific stories.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives you the opportunity to still be vested into wanting to see the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a magic trick.
um. Wow. You know.
I, I unpacked a lot. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, no. I was gonna ask you a question. I just kind of forgot what it was.
I
Before
apologize.
I ask you my next question, can you move forward a little just to see if that helps with your camera? Let's
Oh,
see.
me?
Yeah.
No, I think at
Oh,
this
okay.
point, I think it's the internet.
Okay. Sorry, the internet. That's fine. It straightens it out
Yeah,
anyway.
because
Mm-hmm. That's
yeah,
fine.
it's the internet. I think
All right.
because
It'll
you're
adjust
fuzzy.
for that.
You're fuzzy too.
I am. Oh, that's interesting because I'm
Yeah.
clear to me. Okay, so I guess it's it.
Well, let's see if it's my internet. I
Uh,
could be on the wrong. I'm on the right internet.
okay.
I'm literally like what 6 feet away from the box,
So
which
that's
is
fine then.
technology.
As long as you're clear to you, that's fine because it records it
Okay.
locally. So that's fine. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um. So I was actually going to before I segue. I'm so curious about some of your challenges, but you brought up something about storytelling. Um. It's something we. What can you talk a little bit about your training in storytelling? Because when it comes to education and schooling, a lot of times, kids hate to write.
I
Sometimes kids hate to write, especially.
I've been making stories up since I was young, like
Mm-hmm.
playing with toys and not wanting to go outside, but just being. I was the only child, so
Ah.
you one toy here, one toy there. All right, well, what's the story? He's trying to steal this. He's trying to get it. He's trying to catch him. So that's where it probably really started. And
Mm.
I'm always envisioning different scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when I learned that I knew how to write, which is
Mm-hmm.
in college, um, it was different because I wrote. The teacher asked me, I can't remember what the paper was about. He passed
Mm.
me the paper and was like, "Here." I said, "Excuse me, sir, excuse me." He said, "What?" I said, "It's A minus," and he said, "Yeah, you had typos and some misspelled words, but it's pretty. After that's pretty much good." I said, "But this is good." He said, "Yeah, you're a good writer." Just like that,
Wow.
just as nonchalant as it could be. He said, "You're a good writer," and I was like,
Wow.
"Really? I'm a good writer?" Huh? Never knew. And from that point on, went to look into writing and
Wow.
script writing, and then that's
Mm-hmm.
when the teacher said that he he would have us write he would have us write episodes to shows that were already on. So I think I wrote. Now I know I wrote a Frasier,
Mm-hmm.
and on the top of my paper he said, "You're not only a good writer, but you can write white comedy." I said, "Okay,
Did you say white as in WHITE?
yes." He said, "I can write
Sorry.
white comedy." I said, "Okay." I don't know what that means. Does it mean you gonna find me a job writing writing for one of these shows? Because I love when Frasier was on. I love Frasier, but you
Yeah.
know, I just mimicking what I saw.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw it on television, and it's like, all right, well, this is what it is.
Yeah.
So pretty much, it wasn't me trying to uh, write white comedy. It was just me just writing comedy because I don't think of comedy as black or white. I think of comedy as funny, and that's the reason why I chose
Mm.
to focus more on comedy because comedy is a straight line.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody laughs.
Right.
Drama isn't. Drama is a curve.
Mm-hmm.
It might miss you. Like, I just don't understand why she just doesn't pull herself up by her bootstraps and just get a job.
Mm.
That's not her story. She can't.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't have high self esteem. Why not? It's like, okay, so you're not empathetic with that because you don't get it because you didn't grow up that way. So it's
Mm-hmm.
hard to sell that drama to somebody.
Yeah.
It's hard to sell the drama to somebody about abusive woman that to another
Mm-hmm.
woman that's never been abused. It's
Right.
like, I don't know why she just won't leave him. Huh.
Mm.
Have you ever been in that situation? No, you haven't. So you don't know why.
Wow.
You don't know why that guy goes on the street and hustle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why he can't just get a job. He can just get a regular job. You don't know what motivated him to get on the street and hustle. So, that's why drama is so hard. Comedy is a straight line.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to laugh.
Yep.
So there's no white or black comedy. There
Right.
is slapstick comedy, which that's on both sides. When you think of Kramer coming into Seinfeld, he was slapstick all the way. But
Mm-hmm.
Seinfeld, which is Jerry Seinfeld, George Costanza, Jason Alexander, and
Mm-hmm.
Julia Dreyfus, those were the regular comedy. That's regular comedy.
Mm.
Kramer, which was what's Richards, he was slapstick.
Mm-hmm.
So, but comedy's still a straight line, even
Wow.
though slapstick can be funny in certain instances. It's still funny. All it's straight line. It's like it's old white woman and a young black guy can watch the same thing and laugh, but they
Mm-hmm.
can watch the same drama and not get it.
Wow. You broke up for a sec.
No, I just stopped talking.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did.
I was trying to. I got real still. I'm sorry. So I'm just
I
trying to
thought your mouth
understand.
was moving, so I was like,
Let me see. I think my computer's getting hot. Let me see something. Yeah, it's getting hot. It's getting hot on this thing. I'm gonna just adjust it real quick so the vent can vent. A little
It could
bit. All
also be
right.
mine too, because sometimes mine tells
No,
me,
I can hear. I can hear the fan. Well, which I don't know why I can hear the fan because it's not exactly warm
"Oh,
in
the
here.
overheating." Yeah.
Chicago is nice and chilly. Let me just. It should be fine. All right. But yeah, so that's pretty much. You say I'm taller than you. I'm making myself taller than you. Okay, cool. But yeah. So I hope that answered your question.
No, 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 you did. You brought up more. I was just, I realized I'm so curious. It's funny you talked about regular, because the ones you mentioned, it's funny. I'm in the middle of watching, um, you know, kind of reruns, of course. I'm a fan of Fraser as well,
Mm,
and but it's very interesting because watching these, I have a new lens in which I'm watching them, right? Especially in light of everything that's happening. Um, I think now more. I enjoy them, but I also have a bit of a critical eye. Thinking about what defines regular, especially when it comes to the role of women, right?
mm-hmm.
And what's considered a norm and things that are said and done. Um, you know, so those are those are things that I'm thinking about now. Even as I rewatch some of you know, and then some that I used to watch. It's a little hard to watch now. I wondered
Yeah.
how
I
much
mean,
thought. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead.
No, no,
Go
I was
ahead.
gonna ask.
How much? How much thought?
I was gonna ask how much thought when you think about movies and what's the norm, and thinking about women's role. What are your, how do you think about that? When you're making your movies as well.
Well, I really haven't thought about it, but I know when I have a 19-year-old.
Mm.
So usually with her, I was just whatever movie that had a strong woman and it didn't matter what color she was, long as she
Mm.
was strong and she wasn't waiting for anybody to save her.
Mm.
That's the movie we were watching.
Mhm.
We watched The Fifth Element. Uh, we watched a couple of Mila Djokovic movies because it showed that she wasn't waiting on anybody to save her. She got up and saved herself,
Mhm.
and I felt like that was very important
Yeah.
when for her to see
Mhm.
and not worry about. I don't want her. She already know I'm gonna save her, but I don't want her to worry about somebody else saving her. I want
Right.
her to be like, okay, well, you know what? We're in this situation because my dad told me to do X, Y, Z, and that's I want those things to be locked, which I don't even have to want. They are locked in her head. She just
Mhm.
told me recently. She said, "I never realized all the stuff that you told me how much it would matter right now.
Mm.
Thank you." And I almost cried. I almost
Wow.
cried. Yeah, I almost cried. But I don't. I I didn't think of any different roles.
Mhm.
Like so in Tubi movie, the women are well. It's three main women. Well, actually four because
Mhm.
uh, Jessica, she has one small role, but it's hers is major because she pulls a point of pointing out how filmmakers use women's beauty to basically
Mm.
push and sell in a movie.
Mhm.
But in these roles, I had people, had the women basically confronting whatever's going on in their circle, in their scene,
Mm.
and actually, I guess, not balling up and going into a corner and crying,
Mhm.
which I didn't want. I
Yeah.
wanted them to be able to handle that. And
Mhm. I did see that.
when you see the women in this movie, they're like, you know what, I'm out, pretty much.
Mhm.
I don't want to hear any lies. I don't want to hear any stories. I'm
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
Stay with where you are, and I'm good. I'm gone.
Mhm.
Opposed to usually you see the guy. Let me just talk to you for one moment. Come here. I'm sorry, and then they hug it out, and he turn around and do it a month later, or a week later, or a day later, or an
Mhm.
hour later. So yeah,
Yeah, that was nice. You had him walk away, which is, it's not so regular.
no, no.
Yeah.
So so you enjoyed the movie, huh?
I did. I did enjoy it. My husband enjoyed it. We were cracking up. I
You were cracking up.
Yes.
What was your favorite part?
Oh my gosh. What was my favorite part? Hmm. I think the part I'm trying to remember. Hmm. Trying to remember which one had me laughing more. Well, yeah, okay. So one of them that's crossing my mind is when they were trying to decide. They were all standing together. I did watch it a couple weeks ago. So
Okay.
they were all trying to decide who would do the job and who would be the bad guy. And they were all confused about, you know, who the bad guy role is and whether they were going to steal the stuff. Yeah, I remember. I think it was
Hmm.
three or four guys standing talking together.
Oh, I
I
get.
think that part had
Oh,
me cracking up. If I remember
I,
correctly.
I like that because everybody has their different parts. I have a friend that she said she loves the part with me and my daughter in it, where we talking about the cars as with the toy cars.
The toy cars.
Yeah, it's she's in it. She was like, I don't know how to do this, and I'm like, no, you got to,
Mm.
But the whole thing is that's the only part of the movie that was actually improv. That's the
Oh,
only
that's
part of the movie.
interesting.
Every other part of the movie was written. Nothing else was improv.
Oh wow.
And the follow scene went kind of long, so I decided
Hmm.
to drop that in
Hmm.
just as a ha ha ha, and it hit well. It hit really well
Hmm.
because they said, "Oh, he put his daughter in there. And it's so cute," and then she's like, "Dad, I'm cold." I said, "Director," and you know,
So that was actually a real
yeah,
dad, appropriate
yeah,
age dad. Yeah.
yeah,
I thought that was funny too. Just how
yeah.
you swap those roles. Um, I have to make note of that. It's funny when I think back at things. I'm trying to figure out which part made me laugh. Um, Now when it comes to okay, so you went to college, and was it in an English class you discovered that aha moment, or was it a script writing class?
What do you consider
Do you
aha
remember?
moment?
When you said when you got the A minus, I'm just curious.
So the way I got introduced to video in general was in high school, and
Okay.
I was in English class. And when I
Mm-hmm.
was in English class, the teacher pushed this television in. It was the end of the year, freshman year,
Mm-hmm.
and when she pushed this television in, and she showed us this video, I was like, "Oh, they must be coming to the school. Whoever's the people in this video."
Uh-huh.
And then she turned the TV off and said, "How many people in here would like to learn how to make a video like this?" I raised my hand straight away. Then she said,
Mm.
if you do sign up for my class, I said, I'll sign up for your class today. So I signed up for the class and that from
Wow.
there. And then when I learned I knew how to write, which I didn't know was in English, it was in college, in English in
Mm-hmm.
college. And that's
Wow.
when I got the A minus. And that's when I actually put forth more of an effort to write because I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know I knew how to write. I just
Oh.
put words together and hope for the best. But when he told me I was a good writer, and then I started paying attention to what I was actually doing to make myself a good writer, I looked over this. Oh, I was about to say the script. I looked over the paper. I said,
Mm-hmm.
so if I do this again, let's see. I did it again, and that time I got an A. He said,
Wow.
because you had some typos. Not, I said,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't had no misspell. He said, you didn't have misspelled words, you just had typos. So then next time I got A plus. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's what pushed me through because I kept trying to I learn from my mistakes and try to
Mm-hmm.
best or be better the next time.
Wow.
I didn't want to do just enough to get an A. I wanted to do better than an A.
Right.
And that's what pushed me to be better at writing. And
Mm-hmm.
now with script writing, I can I have to write because I have to give the actors scripts to work
Mm-hmm.
with, but most of the time it's up here. And it's weird
Mm-hmm.
because it's up here and I can tell you the story from front to back I think 100 times until I write it out. Once I write it out, I lose all
Mm,
of it.
okay.
It's
So you do a
weird.
lot of your thinking up here, which I
Yeah,
understand.
I'll Rain Man it. Like, so if we and I on the phone, we're talking, I got this idea. And he was like, oh,
Hmm.
what's the idea? And I started telling you about it. And he said, oh, I was thinking, I said, shh, be quiet, Catherine. Give me a second. And then I start talking for like 20 or 30 minutes. And I said, okay, good talk. And then they get off the phone with me. They just hold the phone and let me just Rain Man it out. And then I Rain Man the whole movie out and then just start writing pretty
Wow.
much. Yeah, it's a weird thing. It's very weird.
Yeah, everybody has their own processes. You want to think about, you think it through a lot. It's funny because whenever I have conversations about writing, sometimes I have to describe how that everybody goes through it differently. Some people think about it a lot and before they start to write, and some people just write everything they think about. And you kind of have to let them know you might be the person who needs to just get rid of what you put down immediately, right?
Hmm.
Because you
It's in
write
my head.
everything.
I don't have to get rid of it. It just sits there until once
Hmm.
I push it out, it goes away. So
Wow.
now, just say for instance, I write a half the script. I write half the script, it's still there, but once
Hmm.
I get to fade to black, it's gone. I don't remember any of it, and it's weird because
Wow.
before I used to be able to write a script, and then we doing table reads at school, and I'm like, no, you're not saying it right, the right inflection, But now I hear them saying stuff wrong, and I can't catch it. That's why I have to have a script supervisor because wearing all those hats. Because when I'm framing a shot or watching a shot being framed or watching them act through the monitor,
Hmm.
I'm focused on the performance and not what's being said. And not until I'm editing will I know that they didn't say what they need to say to drive the scene forward.
Mm. Wow. Now, did that moment determine what you would major in? Or did you already decide on what your major in? And was your major?
My major was television post production, everything dealing with
Hmm.
TV, producing TV. And once I once I left college, or not left college, once I graduated, I stopped liking TV because TV has started becoming something different. And I
Mm.
like movies more because we're not in one small space, we're everywhere. And
Mm.
with us being everywhere, different, it's a different vibe.
Right.
Television it keeps you in a small space.
Hmm.
And film, we could be in Chicago today, Toronto tomorrow,
Hmm.
on a plane on our way to China. So
Hmm.
but that's the adventures of filmmaking, because you are every everywhere in all places all but once.
Hmm.
I forgot what's the name of that movie. Everything, everywhere, all at once, something like that. But that's what filmmaking is to me. You're everywhere.
Hmm.
You're not just stuck in an office building unless you want to be. But
Hmm.
it has to be real compelling. It has to be a real compelling story for us to sit there for an hour and a half to watch you be stuck in an office building, because I don't think it's going to be interesting unless because oh, the building's about to blow up. Oh, okay. Somebody's gonna find the bomb. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How you get out of that building? What's happening outside that building? What's happening to people that's in that building?
Right.
Are people, is that couple that's having an affair, is going to become a boiling point, or are they deciding they're going to just break off from their spouses and be together? It's
Hmm.
a whole bunch of story in that building, not
Hmm.
just the bomb.
Right. Unless it's comedy, right?
I mean, still, it's still a lot of
Yeah.
story in that building, not just the bomb.
Mhm. um.
So, hey.
Well, how do you think? So, were you born and bred in Chicago? I was just curious how
Hmm.
Chicago influence. You think maybe being in Chicago is influenced? What type of narratives you create?
No.
No.
So I'm gonna tell you this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my first movie was Kidnapped, and that was about an FBI agent going undercover to catch the bad guy, crime
Mm-hmm.
boss. So
Okay.
that's pretty much TV.
Mm-hmm.
So I like
Right.
Scarface the Rapper. Have you ever heard of Scarface the Rapper?
Mm-mm.
He had a song called Good Girl Gone Bad, which is
Okay.
Good Girl Gone Bad is a drug deal that went bad,
Mm.
which I made a 3-minute movie. I mean, a 38-minute short film called My Enemy's Son. So a
Mm.
good girl gone bad which is a drug deal gone bad, which resulted into My Enemy's Son, which was the
Mhm.
name of my movie. So when I wrote that movie, it was basically, as you call it, urban story.
Mhm.
And uh, I showed it to one of my friends, and this is before I showed it to anybody. And he was like, "Will, you're better than this. You know more stories than just this. We know
Mhm.
you know about the streets, but what else do you know?"
Mhm.
And he got me to thinking. Like, I don't owe the streets nothing. I don't. I don't have to tell that story over and over again. We see it every
Mhm.
day on the news. We
Mhm.
see it right now. We see it online. We see it on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. People posting dumb stuff. I don't have
Mhm.
to tell that story anymore
Mm.
because it's not authentic.
Mhm.
So I got into telling different stories, which were better than the story that I was telling,
Mhm.
because it was almost My Enemy Son almost glorified that life. So I
Mhm.
stepped away from that. I
Yeah.
created If I Die Tomorrow, which didn't glorify the life, which a guy in that life finds out that he has 24 hours to live. That's a short
Mhm.
film.
Mhm.
I created something like that. Then we get to Step Off the Block. Step Off the Block was trying to save the youth.
Mhm.
But again, everybody that sees that story don't it doesn't resonate, because like, my kid, he doesn't have to worry about nobody getting shot at. Worry about getting shot at.
Mhm.
Why does he have to worry about getting shot at?
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't understand. So I
Mhm.
get why
Yeah.
that movie didn't pop like it was supposed to. I also
Right.
get why Sex Ain't Love did, because it was a comedy. It was a romantic comedy.
Mhm.
It was a love story
Yeah.
about a guy who didn't know what love is, and it's a lot of guys that don't know what love is until it knocks them over the head, or it's almost too late. Because in Sex
Mhm.
and Love, it's almost too late.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to do a lot of laughing these days. It's
Yeah,
certainly a
because that
better time
guy
to
in
do
that guy in that office is sure doing a lot of crazy stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's what are let's just say kids growing up right now want to do what you're doing. What are some, well, not even that, people who want to do what you're doing, what are some challenges they need to be aware of for just, you know, producing, writing, and getting a movie out? What are some challenges to really getting
Well, you
through
need
this?
to
Mm-hmm.
try to have your own equipment.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, you can rent, but you
Mm-hmm.
always got to give it back. You got to buy insurance. By the time you finish doing all that, probably 5 times you didn't bought the equipment.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well buy your own equipment. You want to work with people that respect you.
Mm.
If you're a writer, you want to learn how to write a script. And the best advice I can give you is to write. To read the book Story. That was a good.
Mm-hmm.
It's about big as the Bible, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
good book. And it helps you break down the characters and help you create the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the production side, you need to know every aspect you can to make sure that the people that you have working for you are doing the job that you need them to do, but to
Mm.
make sure that everything flows smoothly and you can create a plan where you are the captain of the ship, and all your deckhands are doing the things they need to do to make sure that the production rolls through
Mm-hmm.
perfectly. Because as far as I go, I'm efficient.
Mm-hmm.
I take 4 hours. It's a 4 hour shoot day for me. The first
Mm-hmm.
hour, I bring all the equipment, set it up. Second hour, the crew show up. Third and fourth, which is 2 hours shoot time,
Mm-hmm.
that's the cast come in, we shoot, and they go home. There's
Mm.
no 12-hour shoot days for me. So
Mm.
nobody gets fed, and the reason why they don't get fed is because I paid you already. You can go get your own food.
And you keep it to 4 hours.
Yeah, and I mean we can stay here longer, and you want to
Right.
stay here 12 hours, and we sitting around talking, but I
Right.
don't want to stay here longer. I want to be in and out and be efficient. All I
Mm-hmm.
need is one good shot, and you have to, and you say what I would tell somebody that's trying to start out, make sure that you're efficient,
Mm,
because if you stay on set for 12 hours,
hmm.
people are not going to want to work with you more.
Right. Yeah.
More means they'll work with you they'll work with you twice. But last time I was on set with him, it was daytime when I got there. you know, it was nighttime when I left. Or
Mm,
when don't if you have a scene that has multiple people, but
hmm.
uh actor A doesn't shoot until 1 o'clock and you're there at 9, don't have them get there at 9. Have them get there at 1 o'clock and shoot your regular other characters early and get them out of
Hmm.
the way. So when actor A gets there, they can get in there and knock theirs out. Don't just have them sitting around falling
Mm,
asleep waiting for their
right.
part, because it doesn't add anything to it. It's that
Mm,
whole hurry up and wait syndrome. Like, oh, come on, hurry up, come get here. And the other thing is, don't walk into the location with your actors, with your equipment. So you setting it up, have your stuff set up by the time they get there. It keeps you
hmm.
efficient, stops them from asking you questions while you're trying to put stuff together. Because when they start asking you questions while you're putting stuff together, you forget stuff. You
Yeah.
forget what to all of that. So
Hmm.
I've experienced all
I
of
can
the
see
stuff
that.
that I'm telling you not to do,
Hmm.
because I learned the hard way,
Yeah.
trial and error.
Right. And, is a part of being prepared and, respecting everybody's time um and understanding even what that means, right? As you do
Yeah,
it.
showing up on
Yeah.
time, being
Hmm.
on time. Period. That respects everybody's time. The minute somebody
Yeah.
show up late, everybody
Hmm.
else is like, "Wait a minute, Catherine showed up late. I guess I won't show up on time next time because Catherine showed up late. She not better than me." And it gets like that.
Yeah, I imagine. Um, so in terms of so what one thing that crossed my mind as you were talking is, especially when it comes to storytelling, I could very easily see, kids today with the onset of AI saying, "Oh, I don't need to know how to write. I could just have AI do it." What would you say to them? What advice do you have for them?
And try if they want to.
What's that?
They can try if they want to. What happens is, on the surface, everybody's like, "Oh man, that's so great," and then
Mm-hmm.
after you continue to see the same thing duplicated over and over again, it's not great anymore. Is AI does the same thing over and over again. So you'll
Mm-hmm.
see something once, just like Tubi movie. Tubi movie came out once, and if I
Mm-hmm.
did it again, you'd be like, "Oh, he doing that again." Huh.
Yeah.
So AI is the same way. AI does it evolves, but it does not know how to evolve when it comes to something like storytelling.
Right. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I
That's
think
how I feel about it.
yeah. No, I agree. I feel that way as well. I think that that'll be the big that'll be the big thing that separates, I think, people, who are successful in a lot of things, um, and people who are not, uh,
Well,
just trying to.
studios are making movies now so you can scroll while you watch them, and that's not the way you want to watch a movie. You don't
Mm,
want to scroll through your phone while you want to be fully engaged. If you
right.
watch a Tubi movie, you have to be fully engaged, because
You
if you
do.
don't, you're gonna miss the jokes.
Right.
So even watching it, you
The
miss the jokes
rewind.
because you're laughing through other jokes.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, and AI, if AI follows the suit of the studio, it'll be here, it'll be gone. Right now, it's this whole vertical craze. Oh, these
Mm-hmm.
movies are vertical. I'm like, yeah, you no, it's basically books on video now,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because guy walks in, he everybody thinks he's poor, but he's really rich. There's a whole lot of exposure. There's no showing. There's no showing through visuals. It's all explained to you, and that's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what a book does.
Mm-hmm.
A book does that,
Yeah.
and people are like, "Oh wow, the Chinese people are making a lot of money on these vertical." I said, Have at it, have at it." I don't think it's a good thing. I don't think verticals are great because there's a lot of exposure. I don't want
Mm-hmm.
to create a movie that you use your phone as, I mean, using the movie as background and your phone as the foreground, because
Mm-hmm.
whatever's on your phone is not as important as this movie that I took my blood, effort, and tears to make. So
Yeah, I think with a lot of things, I think we're going through a phase that we're going to be either very tired of soon or wear ourselves out.
I mean, it's just like with social media. Everybody gets they sit there scrolling, and then it's Netflix. Everybody got Netflix, but how many people can you talk to have seen actual movies on Netflix without sitting there for hours by watching just previews, watching previews for hours, and like, yeah, that's okay, and just turns it off. You can watch probably 80 previews and then just turn Netflix off and turn the television off and go to sleep.
Mm,
It's a lot of people out there like that.
well,
You go to Netflix for a specific thing. You go, oh, Cat Williams special on, I'm going to Netflix to see that.
mm-hmm.
But if you're going to Netflix to see, hey, let me see what's on, like tomatoes on Saturn. What is this? Like what tomatoes on Saturn? Oh, the Jeep Wrangler boys. What is the nah? It's a whole bunch of nah. And then I can't watch dub movies at all. I rather read the subtitles. It takes it away from me. I rather read the subtitles
Okay.
because watching a dub movie and seeing their lips not move right, and I'm like, they're not really. What are they saying? What are they really saying? Tell me, what are they really saying? And the voices don't match. Oh, it's just wild.
Well, it depends on, if it's a lot of action, then maybe they don't need to, right?
I the voices don't match. The voices don't match the character. Hi, I thought you were gone. I'm like, wait a minute, you black. Hold on, what? That's all. All right. Well,
um, so I do have one more question for you. Um, so when it comes to, I'm always thinking about, you know, kids and, education. What type of character do you think, kids need to have, to have the type of, you know, to accomplish what you're doing? Like, what advice would you give to
yeah.
them? And then I'm
You
gonna
have
go
to
through with
have
you and see if
starting.
you're in.
You if you're gonna start something, finish it. That has to be in your
Mm,
character. That has to be your character put all the way through. Because
mm,
sometimes the finish line is not in sight. Sometimes the finish line is so far away, it's so far down the way and around a corner, you don't even see the light.
mm,
But you have to have the will and push to want to finish. That has to
mm,
be. You have to make that part of your character, even if it's not part of your character. You have to make it part of your character. I was
mm,
told once a while ago. It's like they said, "Well, I didn't think he was gonna finish the movie." I was like, "Why would you say that?" Well, I knew you. I knew you would finish it if I said that to you. I'm like, because because they said you never finish what you started. I'm like, what? So I finished the movie. I knew if I told you
mm,
that you would finish it. I said, I don't like the Jedi mind trick. Just tell me you don't finish nothing. You need to focus on finishing stuff. You don't need to go around about telling me I'm messing up. Just tell me I'm
right.
messing up. I feel like that's a better way.
Mm-hmm.
So, you
Wow.
have to have the at the start and finish, no matter what. I don't care if say for instance it's not everything that's in the script is not right. Figure out how to make it make sense
Mm-hmm.
and and still put it out, because although it's not done
Mm-hmm.
to the best ability of the script, it's still done, and
Mm-hmm.
you still owe it to yourself plus everybody that had something to do with the movie to put it out,
Yeah.
so eyes can be on it.
Wow. Um, I wanted to see if there were any questions or any comments um posted for you. Let's see. Oh, oh, my friend is saying that you're a little fuzzy.
That's not a question. That's a
I
comment.
know. I guess we're gonna see if you have any questions. Okay, let's see on YouTube. Let me lower the volume and see if there are comments. Okay, I don't see any questions
I
there.
guess I wasn't interesting enough. My
No,
tears are
baby, I
showing
asked
now.
you all the questions. That's what it is. Oh, she was just saying she didn't see the movie.
Oh, that's nice of her. Can she see? Can she hear me? Can you watch the movie now? Do you think you want to see the movie? Did I make you want to see the movie from me talking about it? Did Catherine make you want to see the movie from her talking about it? It's on Plex. Or you can
Yeah.
go to my website, lokekey.com, and you can just click the button. It takes you directly there. You can watch the
Hmm.
trailer there, or you can scroll down. And you can see some of the other movies, and you can follow me on social media too at the very, very bottom too.
Yeah, I actually
So,
just for everyone, I did post a link to your movie in the YouTube. Oh, okay. So let me see. Okay, so she'll watch it, and let me see. Hold on a second. I asked her if she wanted to join. Let me just have her send her email really quickly. She's my fellow Chicago friend.
right. They live somewhere in the city that you don't know.
She's sending it to me. She'll just be able to open the link. I think I remember it offhand.
You can send it to Plex. Plex,
Oh
that's
no,
where I
she
can
has
make money off
access.
of.
What's that?
Okay. Plex is where I make money.
Oh, the Plex. I
Yeah, she
think
goes to Plex to watch it.
I'm not sure
You
if
watched
that's
it on
the
Vimeo.
one. What's that?
You watched it on Vimeo.
No,
That's the screener link.
I watched it before she sent me that link.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah, well,
Cha-ching.
I wanted to search
I said
thoroughly.
cha-ching.
What's that?
Cha-ching. Because you watched it. If you watched it on the platform, that means you helped me get money.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I did watch it on that because uh I did watch it there because before is before I so the Plex is she was asking, yes, the Plex is the link in YouTube. She wondered what your Instagram was.
Will Adams Chicago.
She said you'll follow him, huh?
Will Adams Chicago.
You're out of Chicago. Your
Will
Instagram?
Adams Chicago. Yep.
What's that?
Will Adams Chicago.
Oh, Will Adams Chicago. Okay.
Hmm.
And so the link to the movie is also there in the live YouTube at the bottom. I did put link to movie, so you'll be able to see it there as well. And it, for anyone who wants to look at it.
Cool
And
beans.
okay, awesome. So, well, any last any last notes or comments? Let me check you and make sure there is no other thing I missed.
Well, I
Any
appreciate
last
you
notes
having
or
me on your show. And lokekey.com is my website.
mhm.
And I I appreciate your questions. They were nice. You said you're gonna give me some hard questions, but thank you for sharing.
Well, I phrase them so they're not so hard, right?
User friendly, because I might not be as sharp as you. I got you.
No,
It's
no,
okay.
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking, there are always topics. I like to just, the whole idea is for people to get to know who you are and
Hmm.
to understand the best of you, especially as it relates to You see his, okay, so she said she got it, she's following you, especially as it relates to your work, your, what I call your zone of genius. And
Thank you.
especially when it comes to thinking of, black representation in curriculum, and what it means, what can they learn about you, especially when it comes to, all of this is figuring out, well, what do we need, right? What do we need to know? What do we need to understand? And I think we can learn it a lot from our individual lived experiences. So,
I agree.
well,
I agree.
that's, yeah, I agree too. But yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I do appreciate it. And any last things before we end?
Lokekey.com. You can see the movie, you can see my past work, and you can find all my socials at the bottom of the that page.
Hmm. And I will add
That's
that.
it. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've added that link, and I will add them to the podcast when it comes out. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for listening today to our live podcast with Will Adams, producer and filmmaker. And if you like this episode, please like and follow so you can be alerted for the next episodes. Thank you.
Thank you for having me on.